Funding for this channel is provided by viewers like you. Thank you.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
What's up, bloomers? Welcome to video. I am so tired. You might be sick of hearing it. I'm sick of living it. Health, not great lately. Might just be a change of the seasons. I'm not sure, but my neck, my back, no, my neck and upper shoulder areas have just been killing me. I'm just so fatigued. So it's a good thing that we're gonna be reading all day. I'm in the kitchen to make a cup of tea. I want to tell you about this tea I found. Not sponsored, baby. I'm obsessed with yogi teas because the tea bags have these little like fortunes at the end of each bag. But I found a really great festive tea. Pumpkin chai yogi tea. It is so good. It's like fall in a cup. Let's peek at mine today. Ask yourself, who am I and what am I doing? Very existential for the day. If fall had a flavor, it would be this. So while this is steeping, let's talk about what I'm reading for the Bloomin' Readathon because it only just began. I'm so excited. These are the 3 books that I am technically involved with as of right now. The first one is my Slugs and Snails textbook. I'm really liking this one so far. I think that the author is so cute. I love his voice. In the beginning, he said something like, this book is supposed to be published in 1998, but an explosion, quote unquote, an explosion of snail information occurred over the past 20 years. Could you imagine working at HarperCollins and you continuously get these wholesome and excited emails from this man who's meant to have a deadline 20 years ago, but over the past 2 decades, he's just been emailing you about how exciting the snail news has been over the past 20 years, so he couldn't possibly publish the book yet? I would be tickled beyond belief. I'm already learning a lot. I think it's really cute. 466 pages of snail formation, but I'm here for it. I'm also reading Hood Feminism by Nikki Kendall. Notes from the Women That a Movement Forgot, which I cannot believe it's taken me this long to read this book so far. When I went to a very expensive private college that your girl could not afford, what was she thinking? Oh, I know. She was a literal minor digging herself into thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt. Anyway, I found a lot of the feminist classes to be lacking and disheartening, to say the least. So I wish that Allie in 2014-15 could have found this book because she is a feminist, just not whatever that kind of feminism is. And then I'm also reading Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. It's a friendship story that's centered around video games. I only read the first chapter. So that's that. I edited all morning. The only other thing that we have on the docket today is maybe go to the gym, but like I said, my body is screaming, and I do have an appointment at a used bookstore because I have a huge stack of books that I want to unhaul. Maybe I'll show you some of them. I know some of you are interested. The rest of the day is reading. I'm really excited to recover my body. It's gonna be great. Let's do it. But first we need some brain food for said reading. So this is my go-to bagel as of lately. You just toast her up, put some cream cheese on it, broccoli burger, some grilled or pan-fried eggplant, couple slices of tomatoes, and there you go. I really like to have cucumber on this, but it makes the sandwich too slippery, so I kind of just cut them thicker and eat them on the side as like chips. Then I get my cucumber fix. It's so good. Sitting on the floor in front of the entrance of my apartment because we're leaving very soon to exchange some books for store credit. Here's some books that I will be exchanging because I feel like they belong in different homes. Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I thought that this was very lackluster and flat, but a lot of people really like it, so I think it belongs in a different home. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McKiston. I loved One Last Stop, but I thought this one was so boring, so I think someone else will appreciate it. The Astonishing Color of After. This one was okay. We read it for pocket pages, but again, there's no reason for it to be on my shelf. The Discomfort of Evening. Honestly, I should use this for crafts. There was just too much child nudity, borderline child, you know. My 2 Madeline Miller books because people love them and they're not for me. Oh yeah, also Hide by Kirsten White. This is brand spanking new, like just came out a couple months ago, but I just wasn't impressed with it. I might pick out a few more. I don't know. Look at my snail pajama pants. My friend Michelle made them for me. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's go. So whatever the used bookstore didn't want, we brought to those take it or leave it little library things in our city. And now it is another day. Hello. I've been making some progress in my books. Definitely not as much as I'd like, but also I can tell that I really need to be patient and slower this season. My physical health is doing this, and so consequently my mental health is doing the same. She's been crying a lot. So as much as I would like to have read more by this point, I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be understanding. I'm still reading the same 3 books, so not much to report, but I've made a bit of progress in each one. I read another chapter of my Slugs and Snails textbook, which is just really nice. I think a lot of people are really intimidated by nonfiction because they feel like they have to take notes or they have to know enough from it to take a test afterwards. And I think I disagree with that. I think as long as you read it and you retain what you can and you have fun, then you're winning and it's fine. I learned that gastropod is translated to stomach foot because that's exactly what they are, which I think is amazing. I've also read quite a few chapters in Hood Feminism. I'm almost halfway there. I don't even know what to say. I just think it's so good. And The Shining Star, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. I assume I'm gonna finish her this weekend because it is so good. It is so beautiful. It is so sad. It is so touching. It is so good. It very much feels like a John Green but for adults, which is really nice because I never thought that I would be able to revisit that kind of reading experience. So there are these two best friends named Sam and Sadie, and we follow them from being little kids to being in college to being adults. And where I'm at right now, we're getting little snippets of when they're a bit older, and they're doing a great job at feeding us little spoilers, but they aren't spoilers because you're more so curious to see like how everything pans out. Yeah, I just really like being in this space, and I'm very impressed with Gabrielle Zevin's writing, and I totally get already, not even being like a third of the way done, why everyone loves this book so much. Today we are going to Brussels because we need to try and look for something to wear to a wedding that we're going to in the near future, and there is a Waterstones there. So I'm not saying that I will be coming home with new books, but I mean, let's go. And we're back with a bus. Lawrence, did we find anything to wear to the wedding?
Nope.
What did we find?
Everything else.
I got 2 mugs and some books because I am prepared to have the coziest fall winter ever. We are convinced we're going to ward off the seasonal depression even though she's already here. Shh, we're in denial. Let's do a book haul. Let's do a mug haul. And then let's get cozy and read because that's all I want to do. There was a very cute graphic novel shop with a lot of really cute things except for everything is in French and I don't speak French. So I just got a bunch of trinkets. I can't show you these things because some of them are for Sally. Not a good day to have supportive friends that watch your videos. But mild spoilers. Stop it. Are you serious? Are you serious? And then so he wouldn't be lonely, I got this great mug with a frog and a mushroom and it says don't bug me on it. Incredible. And as far as books are concerned, we got a little bit of everything. Let's go by size order. The first one is The Roles We Play by Sabaa Khan, which is Khan's graphic memoir, which I love graphic memoirs. Explores themes of identity, belonging, what memory means, what home is. Look at how beautiful. I've never heard of this one before and I just saw it at the bookstore and it seemed like something that was educational, emotional, well done. You can't lose. Up next we have a nonfiction and it is This Is How Your Marriage Ends, a hopeful approach to saving relationships. Apparently it is dark but humorous stories that capture Frey's experience with his divorce to help us all learn how to communicate better, be better partners to one another, prevent other people from making the same mistakes. Lawrence and I are gonna read this one together and it sounds really good. This next book I haven't heard anything about either. It sounded really good. And look at the cover. The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. This follows 2 7-year-old twins in India. The most recent book that I read that took place in India was Tomb of Sand and I very, very much liked that. And so I've been looking for books that are similar to that exist in that same space because I haven't read enough stories from there. And also I got to open it up, get a taste of the writing, and it seems beautiful. And I also love stories about children or from children's perspective, so this was a no-brainer to me, you know? And look how pretty, look how pretty. Okay, last book. Might be a bit of an obvious choice. And it is To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. You're probably sick of hearing me talk about it, but Becky Chambers wrote my favorite books ever, The Monk and the Robot duology. And I'm currently reading her Quartet, which is the Wayfarer series. But this is a small novella that apparently is still sci-fi like the Wayfarer series, but has similar simple emotional themes like The Monk and the Robot. So it had to happen. It's the last Becky Chambers that I didn't have. I had to complete the collection, and that's that. That's what happened today. I'm very, very excited, but now I'm exhausted. We did a lot of walking, so let's just read. Let's make some tea, shall we? Break. Another day, another grout fit. I have like 100 pages left of this book, so let's finish it. Too Long Didn't Read edition was, I loved this. I thought it was very eloquently written. I think the last fourth or so of the book kind of fell off a little bit for me. I was so invested and thought that it would be a new favorite in the first 3/4 of it, but the end sort of fell a little bit flat, but that's just my opinion. I still loved my time here. I still thought that the relationships, the connections, the characters as a whole were so solid. Neither Sam nor Sadie were perfect. They were very human, and they would get mad at each other, and they would fight, and they would make up, and they would fight again, and it was very honest in that way, and I definitely appreciated it for that. I also thought that it was a very unique space, being in the game designing, game developing, game making world. It really made me feel creatively inspired. It made me nostalgic, it made me emotional, but I think my favorite parts of it were the effortless representation of chronic pain and the disabilities that come along suffering with chronic pain. It was towards the beginning of the book when Sam says, "Sometimes I would be in so much pain, the only thing that kept me from wanting to die was the fact that I could leave my body and be in a body that worked perfectly for a while, better than perfectly actually, with a set of problems that were not my own." And then Sadie replies with, "You couldn't land at the top of the pole, but Mario could." And he says, "Exactly, I could save the princess even when I could barely get out of bed." Ooh, I connected to that so much. That's definitely how I feel about reading. A lot of the time, people ask me how I'm able to read as much as I do. A lot of the times I like to just, you know, make a joke about it and say, hee hee, I love reading, hee hee, it's my job, which are both true statements, but I'm sure I wouldn't read as much if I was neurotypical, if I was able-bodied. The amount of plans that I've had to cancel because of a migraine or because my body was in too much pain, can't even count them. I'm tired of tapping out of things and feeling like a bad friend that I've been avoiding making plans altogether. So if you're my friend and you're watching this, I apologize. Not because I don't like you, it's just because I don't want to bail on you last minute. But all tangents aside, it taps on the theme of home, found families, otherness, the experience of being mixed race and the racism that comes along with that. It raises questions about the ethical conundrum that is falling in love with your professor. And just all the characters are so human that I think each individual person could have a discussion about them on their own. And then of course, great disability rep, in my opinion, and how chronic pain and disability leads you into escapism. I really liked this one. I totally get why it has all the hype that it has. It's not quite a new favorite of mine because it didn't hit as hard consistently throughout, but I would still heavily recommend this one and say that I loved it. This was very good. This was very good. Now, I do want to read more today, but I think I need a little bit more balance. So I brought, look, a lot of people on my last video commented, "Don't give up on knitting." I wasn't planning on it. I just had a difficult start. It's fine. I'm still knitting. We've made a lot of progress. Made a lot of progress. Hello. It's another gray and gloomy day here in good old Belgium. Thought we could sit down and discuss what is being read. The snail book is still happening. I'd be shocked if I managed to finish this month, but I would really like to get that snail space, so maybe. Also still reading Hood Feminism, about halfway, a little under halfway. Last night, because I finished Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, I picked up a new fiction. This is Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend, which is from the imaginary friend's perspective. And I've read the first 5 chapters. The little boy who has the imaginary friend is on the spectrum. They don't outright say that, but they do say plain and simple that he doesn't understand sarcasm, he doesn't like to be touched, and a bunch of other things that are very much spectrum related. So I didn't know that going in. It's very cute and very easy to read. And then I also picked up In the Event This Doesn't Fall Apart by Shannon Lee Berry. I follow Shannon on Instagram and I've never been so moved by an Instagram caption before. I love the way that she illustrates chronic illness and chronic pain. I commented on one of her pictures that I couldn't wait to read a book that she writes in the future, kind of manifesting that for her, and someone replied and said that there's a poetry collection. They're kind of more like little poetic essays. Apparently she wrote this for her boyfriend the first year that they were together. She collected everything that she wrote for him. So it's more so about love. It's really cheesy and really romantic. So I do hope that she still writes something about disability in the future, but for now, this is filling that void. So we've got Tree of Knowledge space, Dandelion space, Tulip space. Boom. So that's where I'm at. In my hopeful brain, I'm like, I'm gonna finish all these by tomorrow. And then in my realistic brain, I'm like, you need to calm down. What's up, gamers? We're going to the gym. Look, I've got my gym clothes on. You can't see that. They're shorts, I swear. You see them that time? I'm just warming up. What better way to ward off the mental demons than sweating? I layered up a little lasagna so then dinner could just be thrown in the oven when we get back. Let's do this. Hello everyone. Yesterday when getting back from the gym, I got hit with one of the worst migraines I've had in a long time. Induced some vomiting. Woo! And I woke up this morning with a can-do attitude. It's a new day. And before the clock even hit 7, another one hit. I can't focus my eyes. My head hurts through my neck and to my shoulders. So we are on the couch with Elvis. He doesn't mind when we have sick days now, does he? No. But a friendly reminder that this readathon is a relaxed readathon for a reason. If you're reading, you're winning. I need to remember that. I like to end this video with some words from Shannon Lee Berry, the fellow chronically ill creator who wrote that poetry book that I got. Don't count the good days. There's just too few of them. Write them down and remember them and hold on as hard as you can. Chase them down. Remember that they always come back. Just don't count them. I'm gonna go. I'll say goodbye to you for now. I'm sorry we're ending this video on such a low note, but that's life sometimes. Thank you to everyone on Patreon who make it possible for me to work from home. And as always, thank you for clicking. Thank you for caring. And thank you for being nice. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!